Boom, 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 boom. Get in there, you legends. What's going on? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little afternoon stream for you lads and lasses. We are back in the daytime this time with a cheeky little update for you. All the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, goings on, a little rundown of what's happening. And we're going to be trying to do this every single day, basically going forward, guys. That's the idea. We'll see how that goes. But thank you very much for getting in here, lads and lasses, and for waiting us to start the show. Let's see who we've got aboard the Bacon Express this afternoon. Dynamic Melon, Avenger Masked. Yes, smash that like button, he says. Do leave a cheeky little thumbs up on the video if you haven't done so. Drop the likes. Every little helps. Give us a share around on social media and get yourself subscribed if you're new. We've got Bell6891 in the live chat. What's going on, you legend? Sounds like a nasty business, that, my friend. Furkan Aaron, what's going on, bro? Super Fat Frank, the legend Nut. I want to give a special shout out to Nut, by the way. I didn't realize yesterday, but he sent me a very nice PayPal yesterday. 69, dude. Thank you so much to Nut. Let's just get some love hearts in there right away for Nut. What a bloody legend. I missed it last night. Apologies, but thank you so much for that, Nut. You're a bloody hero, lad. Philip Chapman, how are you? Templar Priest, Neil Driscoll, yes, mate. Duncan Belifa, Mikhail Kramer, how are you? Matty Gwinnett, let's be having you. Ronnie Dodge, Crazy Joe, United Tactical Talk, Charlie Pritchard. Gungshi, what's going on, you legend? Let's be having you. I hope you're doing good. Yes, mate. Julio Chavez, JK, Ronnie, Super Fat Frank, Primot, John, Callum, Ben, Jaden, JK, Matthew, Henry. There's a lot of legends getting in here. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. So, yeah, hit the thumbs up button at the start of this one. Share it around on social media. The tweet is pinned to the top of the live chat. If you want to give us a cheeky little retweet, then please do. That'd be amazing. Give us a cheeky little retweet. You know, it makes sense. And get yourself in there throughout the show and have your say. It's going to be a fully interactive show. And we will be dipping in and out the live chat. We will be having a big Q&A at the end of the stream as well. Kylie Maddison, how are you doing? Great to see you. I hope you've been doing well. Let's go. Kylie Maddison in the live chat. Thank you so much, Kylie, for being a member of this channel for 13 months. I can see your member comment there. Can't get it up on the screen on this software, by the way, unfortunately, but I can see it on my phone. Kylie Maddison, thank you so much for being a member for 13 months. She says, hell yeah, Bacon Brigade. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for supporting the channel all this time, and get in there. I guess we better get on to the news then, guys. The transfer news and the latest goings on in regards to the Glazers shithouses and Sheikh Jassim and Sir Jim Ratcliffe and all that stuff. We'll start off with the takeover stuff right now, actually, before onto the transfer latest goings on. And there is some sort of transfer movements happening. But it seems like at the moment that there is a strong belief that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's bid at United is essentially dead. David Hellier was on Bloomberg and he was talking in regards to the situation, and he reported and said that he's been told by sources that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's bid is dead. And essentially there was an understanding really that if his bid was to go ahead, then certain shareholders in the club would not be happy with it. They might be prepared to sue the Glazers, this kind of thing. So it does look like this Sir Jim Ratcliffe's bid would be dead in the water. Get in there, my son, because we didn't want that beardy, weirdy individual anyway, and his chemical backing, did we? Certainly not. I mean, it would have probably been better than the Glazers shitbags, but it's good for us, I think, in the long run, certainly in the short term as well, is if we get Sheikh Jassim in to be the new owner and he buys out the Glazers and he comes in with his absolute billions of pounds of backing, and we could go on and rebuild Manchester United to the greatest club in the world once again, which is what it should be. So that's the idea really there, guys. Hashtag Glazers out, get those toads out of here, and get Sheikh Jassim in as soon as humanly possible. That would be very, very nice. So, you know, there is good positive news. It's still not the news we're all looking for, which is that the Glazers have done the right thing and got the hell out of here. It's not that news, unfortunately, but there is news that Sir Jim's offer is essentially dead, and that hopefully that leaves the pathway clear there for the Glazers to just go ahead and accept Sheikh Jassim's offer. and we should hopefully see the sale and the handover of this football club at some point very, very soon. Spot on there, Don Gung. She says, Glazers shit houses out. Absolutely. The Vootinator says we've got 32 likes. Great to see you, Vooty. Thank you for hitting the likes, everybody. Keep smashing that thumbs up. 89 people watching, 32 likes. You what? Hit that thumbs up button, guys. It helps the show out, helps the channel, spreads us around on the old algorithm and all that shite. So hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so. Matt Gwinnett's got a highlighted comment in there. He's been a member for 11 months. What a legend. Get in there, Matt Gwinnett. Hashtag 11 for you, sir. He comments, Pig, can I borrow your PlayStation controller and some gaffer tape? I'm making the Glazers a submarine. Little bit distasteful, but sure. Sure. Why not, bud? Hey, Luan France, great to see you too. Let's get into how I hope you're good today, you legendes. Let's get into the transfer news then, guys. Manchester United, the takeover stuff is still in the background there. Hopefully that finishes soon and we can get rid of the Glazers and have a new ownership really coming in soon, so we can start with the transfer window, because we still haven't been able to do that yet. It's still been a shit show in terms of us being able to buy players. We're being left behind. Other teams are buying lots of players. Even shitty Arsenal holders are buying players like Declan Rice and Havertz and doing business. Other teams are looking to do big business as well and are doing. And United are still scratching around, trying to find, second-rate options, it seems like at the moment, people like Mason Mount. And we're not really prepared to go out there and spend to strengthen in all areas, fundamentally because we don't have the new ownership at the club yet. And once that happens, I'm sure we will see some free spending. But we have seen it time and time again under the Glazers ownership. The situation when it comes to summer transfer windows is usually like this. It never starts off well. Sometimes we have a late flurry and we sign players later on in the transfer window. That does happen. But most of the time you see the Glazers being ill-prepared and not being prepared to actually spend at the start of the transfer windows and get us the players we need to have a good start to the summer. We need to start strengthening for Erik ten Hag so we can plan for the season and get players in. This is what the Glazers do. They don't like to prepare. PPP. Piss poor planning, piss poor performance is generally what goes on with the Glazers at the wheel. And, we're sick of it, aren't we? We just want to see us have a bit of ambition at the start window. That will never happen while they're here. They're still here at the moment. So that's why it's not happening again for this window, which is like almost every other window we've seen in recent years. Hashtag Glazers the hell out of here. Let's talk about the latest news, though, in regards to United. There is some positivity. There is some murmurs and rumours of us doing some business, hopefully on the horizon. Just to give you the lowdown on the De Gea situation, if you didn't know about that, I'm sure you do. But we've treated the guy very poorly with what's happened over the last few days and the news that has been surfacing that United essentially had an agreement in place, or at least had a contract offer on the table, which De Gea agreed to and signed. And then Manchester United didn't want to complete on that in the end. We decided, you know what? Nah, we're gonna go a different route, and we've treated a legend of this club pretty poorly. But I suppose that leaves the door open for us to go and sign a new goalkeeper, somebody that would fit Ten Hag's style and give us that ability to build out and play from the back, which I think is something that in the modern game of football we do need to get better at. Let's face it, David De Gea is not the best at that, but he is an absolute legend of this football club. I think we've treated him very poorly, and it's a big shame. But no, good luck to the guy. If we're not going to renew his contract, like I said yesterday on my stream, I think that De Gea is not the paramount position to strengthen. In my opinion, we should be going out there spending the money on a striker, getting a midfielder, signing other positions out in the outfield positions, really, to get us improved for the new season. De Gea is a great shot stopper and he's a great goalkeeper. It's not really the most fundamental position for me to strengthen. But it looks like that's what's happening at this moment. There's still time for that to change. I suppose there's still time for United to cheap out and go the De Gea route, which would save us money rather than going to spend, say, 50 million euros on a player like Andre Onana. But that is the latest, guys. Andre Onana is being talked about as a new replacement for De Gea. There is an understanding that there could be a bid incoming very, very soon from Manchester United. And some reports, taken with a pinch of salt, already say that those discussions are taking place for, an offer for Onana. So we have a report here from the Gazzetta in Italy which states that United have decided to pay Inter Milan's 50 million euro plus bonuses asking price to sign Andre Onana. Inter director Piero Arcilio will have a new meeting with Onana's agent today or tomorrow to clarify the player's fate. So, positive news coming out there. Also, Republica reporting that Manchester United will submit their official bid for Andre Onana in the next few hours. So there is big reports coming out, guys, that we are getting ready to table an official bid for Andre Onana, which can only be a good thing because I think he's the sort of goalkeeper that would really take us forward going forward. Look, De Gea has obviously been a great servant for us. In my opinion, he's actually in his prime, and he's still in his prime. He's 32. We could definitely do a lot worse than David De Gea. People forget what a fantastic player he's been for us over the years. And everybody's got short memories in football. A few high-profile mistakes here and there, and all of a sudden he's shite. Well, that's not the way it goes. It's like, I don't know. I mean, people remember Roberto Baggio for his miss against Brazil in the 94 World Cup, don't they? In the penalty shootout. That's what they think of. Smash a one if that's what you think of, and the ponytail as well. But smash a one if that's what you think of when you think of Roberto Baggio, one of the greatest players of his generation, doesn't get talked about highly enough. And a lot of people remember him for missing a penalty. That's the way of the world. Negativity is what sticks in the mind. And certainly David De Gea made a few mistakes this season, only a few, and all of a sudden he's shite. That's not the case. He's a brilliant goalkeeper. But anyway, Andre Onana is potentially coming into this football club soon. Hopefully, if we can actually have the bollocks to do the bid. What I would say about this is it doesn't really mean that it's going to happen, though, because United are, well, we're always being constantly linked with players. We always put bids in for players. There's always long, drawn-out, protracted negotiations for players. And more often than not, we don't end up signing these players. So just the fact we're talking about this, maybe it's just more PR guff at the moment from the Glazers shithouses in order to just buy themselves a little bit more time because they're quite content to take all the time in the world to sell the football club and squeeze a few extra shekels out of the new potential owners. So who knows? Maybe it's just paper talk in order to try and, just give us a little bit of a leeway for the owners right now. I don't really know, but I hope that it's the case, guys. It would be very nice if we were to go in for Andre Onana. But as I said, I don't understand why we'd be spunking 50 million on a player who, is going to improve a position that, in my opinion, is probably the most secure position we got in the pitch. It makes more sense for us to go and get a goal scorer. Harry Kane is being talked about as a player for Bayern Munich. There's other teams that may be interested in him. Why are we not doing absolutely everything we can right now to sign Harry Kane from Spurs? I know Daniel Levy's an absolute shite bag to deal with over at Tottenham, and it's very difficult to try and get a decent value deal for the player. But he is a player that has got a year left on his contract. He's aging in the sense that he's 30 now. Not too old. He's still got a few years left at the top level. But United, we're fanning around for Mason Mount, talking to Chelsea about spending £65 million. How much more money would it actually take to persuade Tottenham to sell Harry Kane to Manchester United right now? I'd love to know. I don't think it would be a horrendous amount more. Yet we're talking about trying to sign Mason Mount, who in my opinion is bang bloody average, and also signing a new goalkeeper to replace a goalkeeper that isn't fundamentally the problem at Manchester United. Yeah, we could do better than De Gea, I'm sure, but he's decent. He's a good option. He's been a great player for us. So I really don't understand what we're trying to do right now. It annoys me. So I'll ask the live chat, how much do you think it would take to convince Daniel Levy to sell Harry Kane to us right now, guys? I think 80 million quid. And that would be a pretty extortionate fee to pay for someone with only a year left. But we're talking about spending 65 million quid for Mason Mount, who's only got a year left at Chelsea. So what's the difference? I'd rather spend 40 million quid more and get Kane. At least that's going to provide us with actual goals. Arsenal are prepared to spend £100 million on Declan Rice to get their man. Now, I know it's a different situation. He's younger. He has development. And he would be wanted by almost every single top club. So there's a premium you have to pay there just to convince West Ham to sell. Contract length and all that sort of stuff. It's different. However, it's ambition showed by Arsenal Football Club. Man United, unfortunately, we don't have that same ambition. We're prepared to go for second-rate melt merchants rather than go and spend that extra bit of cash to go and get a top-tier player who's going to solve your problem, who's going to give you everything that you need in that forward position to score you plenty of goals this season. And he probably could score 30 goals for us this season. Cat Lego, thank you for your comment here, says Tottenham selling Kane would be suicide for them. I don't think they've got much of a choice, to be fair. I mean, they're the sort of team that are incapable of winning trophies. They're the ultimate bottle merchants. So who wants to stay at Spurs? Only Son Heung-min wants to stay at Spurs because, well, He's clearly a sadomasochist. I don't know. He's a glutton for punishment. Something wrong with that guy. You would think that he would want to move on and try and better himself and play for a team that could actually win some trophies. But no, he's happy to sign new contracts and stay at those absolutely mediocre meltbag Spurs. Don't understand it. Right, Matty Gwynter thinks 120 million to get Kane. I don't think it would be that much because of the length of the contract left. If Spurs want to do that, fine. Don't buy him. Let's talk in a year's time to Kane and just sign him up for free. That's the reality. Spurs have to be realistic here. They know that they will lose this guy in a year's time. I think what Kane needs to do is just lay down his cap in the ring now. Say, hey, look, I want to go. I really want to go. He might make an enemy of a few Spurs fans if he publicly talks about wanting to leave the football club. But how else is he going to force Daniel Levy's hand? That has to happen. They've got to be sensible. They can't ask for 120 million, which is what Nutt says as well. They can't ask for that with a year left on a contract. It's madness. Plus, he's aging. Ben Bray says 90. Orlando says 90. Look, I would pay 90 million pounds for Kane right now. That's an unbelievable steal for Spurs in the sense that they'd be getting a crazy amount of money for a player with only a year left. But I would pay that just to solve our goal-scoring problem for a few seasons. It's exactly what we need. Tafiso thinks it would be in excess of 100 as well. Johnny says 85. Andrew Cross says 85. Levy demanded 200 million. Well, maybe in the past, we know that last summer before before Man City signed Erling Haaland, there was an understanding that they had talks with Man City and Spurs in regards to the sale of Harry Kane, and they were prepared to spend like 100 million pounds, and they rejected that. But he had an extra year left of his contract then. Spurs had a strong position. Spurs' position is getting weaker by the day. And if they want to get a decent amount of money for this guy, I believe that they have to make a sale this summer. Hey there, Dean M. Superstar says 85, 5 on add-ons. He won't leave for less. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right because Spurs are such douchebags to deal with, and they will demand an insane amount of money in order to sell him. So, I completely agree with you. Manny Souflaki says if Jack Grealish cost 100 million quid, they're not selling Kane for 80 million quid. Well, maybe not. But the difference is the amount of time left on the deal is that if they don't want to sell him for between 80 and 100 million, 80, 90 million pounds, say this summer, next summer, they're realistically going to lose the guy for nothing. I can't see Kane signing a new deal at Spurs. Can you? Yes or no? What do you reckon, guys? If he does, he's an absolute idiot. And he's got such little ambition. Fair enough. There is something called loyalty in the game of football, and he has been loyal to Spurs. But he's already done all that he can at Spurs now. He's taken over Jimmy Greaves as the all-time goal scorer at Spurs. What's left for him at Spurs? I guess he could break the Premier League goal-scoring record and break Shearer's record whilst a Spurs player. But that's an individual record. He could do that at any team in the Premier League. What can he realistically do at Spurs? He can't win anything. So from Kane's point of view, he would be foolish, I think, to stay and just peter out and never win a damn thing at Spurs. He's too good of a player not to win anything. So there you go. It could be the possibility, Manny Slouflaki. By the way, Manny says rumours are that Kane will be going to Bayern. There's very strong rumours in regards to that, Manny, because let's face it, they have actually tabled a bid. They started the negotiations with a 70 million euro bid for Harry Kane. Very strong desire from Bayern to bring in Harry Kane. I think that's clear for everybody. And the longer that this goes on, this whole Glazers situation, the less likely it is that United will even go in for Kane at all. Because, if he gets snapped up, if he goes elsewhere, in the meantime, we're definitely not signing Kane. So, yeah, it could happen. Let's ask the chat, guys. Where do you see Harry Kane's destination for next season? Where does he start his football? Where does he start the season playing football? Let us know in the chat. But I'm just going to try and remain optimistic here and hope that the Glazers sell up. Sheikh Jassim comes in the next few days and we start buying players and we go and get Kane. So I'm going to say Manchester United, but, it's an optimistic take. It really is, because there's a lot of factors. Tottenham don't like to play ball. Tottenham would be more likely to want to sell a player like Kane to a team that's abroad rather than a team that's in the same league because of the competition that would provide. Nobody wants to lose a top player to a rival ever. And so if they could get even a little bit less money, but to sell Kane to a foreign league, I'm sure they'd rather do that. If he was playing for Bayern Munich, that's one less headache that they've got to contend with, having him still playing in the same domestic league. So that is a factor. I think that's fair. He's quite possible to join a club like Bayern Munich if they're prepared to go all out and spend that big money. It's possible. Or he could stay at Tottenham if he's absolutely mental, or if Spurs are so, reluctant to let him go for anything less than an absolute extortionate price. Spurs says United till I die. Thank you, Mikhail Kramer. He says hit the like button, people. Thank you, Mikhail. Yeah, lads and lasses, keep hitting the thumbs up if you're just joining us. We're on 71 likes. Let's get that sucker to 100 likes if you haven't done so. It boosts us up and helps us out. And it also helps us compete with clickbait wankers and corporation monstrosities. So hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so. Drop a little like on it. You know it makes sense. Also, subscribe if you're new to this channel. We're on here daily giving you the latest United news. So make sure you subscribe. Click the bell icon so you don't miss a thing. Matty Gwinnett, thank you, says Destination Spuds. Steven says Munich. Yep. Philip says Spurs. Vutinator says Bayern. So nobody is as optimistic as me in the live chat and thinks that we can realistically sign him. It's tougher, isn't it? Chelsea on a free, says Philip. Okay, so next season. Kay Slater, how are you, says Bayern, Real Madrid, never coming to United. No, well, we'll see. I mean, I am feeling optimistic, but maybe it's foolish optimism just because that's what we need. Out of all the players that we should be going to get right now, it's not Mount, it's not Onana, it's Kane. Harry Kane is the one we should go and get. That's why I'm trying to remain optimistic, because it's a no-brainer for me. He's exactly who we need to make Man United better for this season. So pretty ridiculous if we don't even at least try. Jabir Ardin says Kane will stay in England. He's got the record to break. Yeah, from an individual records point of view, he might be keen to break Shearer's record. He's realistically the only sort of player that could do that. And Haaland, if he stays in the Premier League for a long, long time. Neil Duffin, what's happening, you legend? Yes, the McMuffinator in the house. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the likes, Tally. Get in there, Neil Duffin. Great to see you. 10 Plus says, I think it will be decided on the 1st of July. All said and done, Kane is and has been loyal to Spurs. Well, he was sort of kicking up a fuss a little bit last season. He had to publicly write an Instagram post to say that, no, you know what? I am dedicated to Spurs this season. Let's go. That was after Spurs were clearly never going to let him go. So I don't know. I mean, his loyalty's been forced a lot of the time, if you ask me. He has stayed at Spurs a long time, but Spurs previously were improving. Spurs under, say, Pochettino were a team that were actually doing some decent things. They were finishing in the Champions League spaces. They even got to a Champions League final. So they were a team that was on the ascendancy. I don't think anybody can say that Spurs are a team that's on the ascendancy now. They finished, what, 7th or 8th? They're absolutely melting. So I really don't think that he would want to stay at Spurs from an individual accolades point of view, from a trophy winning point of view. The only way he stays at Spurs is if they just literally don't want to let him go, which they might do. Kane to Bayern will be cool, says Must Play. Daniel Levy's a Judas, says Neil Duffin. Manny Slufaki says, has Maguire left yet? Certainly not, mate. We need to call in Mario and Luigi, bro. That's what we need to do. We need nothing short of Mario and Luigi, the Super Mario brothers, to come and unclog that drain, mate. Because there is a floater the size of a bloody redwood log that is currently blocking up the U-bend at Manchester United, and he goes by the name of Slabby Maguire. So, there's no way that we're getting rid of him, I don't think, man. I mean, you would think that maybe Saudi Arabia or a team from Saudi League might be interested in Harry Maguire, but it's just not happening at the moment, is it? Even they don't want to touch Slabbo. It's crazy. Thank you, Nanamaker, for getting in here. Says Kane should be playing for Man United, and if only Man United wants to buy him. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm with you. I think that he would be the perfect fit for United. I think that if we are looking objectively at where we need to strengthen, we need to get a goal scorer in there. You can argue about which goal scorer, but we're talking about getting Mount and Onana at the moment. It doesn't quite add up for me. We need a goal scorer. Weghorst is not going to be here, obviously, and thankfully that's the case. Martial is an injury-prone melter who's rubbish. Mason Greenwood, what the hell's going on with that situation? Who knows? Maybe he will be a United player for us again in the future, but that doesn't solve the problems. We need somebody that can score 30 goals a season in the Premier League, and that man is Harry Kane. It's proven that he can do that. That's right, Gungshi. Nose pass shaped floater stinking up the place in Manchester. Absolutely, lad. Definitely United till I die. Pissed off with this whole saga. Need a beer. It's only the start of the transfer window. We're already fucked off with the situation. Classic Glazer shithousery taking place. Dave the Gamer says, we need a defender. We already have Rashi. Do you know what, Dave the Gamer? I don't understand where you're coming from there, really. Yeah, it would be nice to have look, I want to get us a defender in as well. I think we need somebody who can essentially cover the current defenders we've got. not really a first team defender that's going to dislodge Varane or Martinez or even Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka, for instance. I think what we need is to get somebody that's going to give us depth in that position and maybe a young prospect, a good one for the future. But actually, you say we already have Rashi, and Rashi has scored us 30 goals in all competitions this last season just gone. But Rashi's best position is not a striker, in my humble opinion. He can play there, but now you're weak in other areas of the team. So I think Rashford's best position is the left wing. He scores a lot of goals from there. He's very dynamic on that side of the pitch, and he's got that ability to cut in and score and shoot from there. So I think we're weakening ourselves in that position if we let Rashford play the striker. I actually think he's a good goal scorer, but he's not the most clinical of players. His finishing doesn't compare to somebody like Harry Kane. Harry Kane's got that natural number 9 ability, fox in the box, but also the ability to drop deep and create. His movement is absolutely second to none, if you ask me. He's great with his head, he's just an all-round finisher. So I don't think we would be doing the right thing to just go with Rashford at playing as the goal scorer next season. It makes no sense to me. We should be playing him in his favoured strong position, which in my humble opinion is the left wing, and signing a proper striker. So I don't think we can put all our eggs in the Rashford basket for next season. Plus, what if he gets an injury? It doesn't add up for me, guys. What do you think? What do you think Rashford's best position is? Left wing or striker, lads and lasses? Let us know your thoughts. But for me, we should be playing him at left wing, and we should be signing an all-out goal scorer number 9. Fat Chinese Gaming says Harry Kane is awesome. Also, he doesn't get injured all the time. Perfect for United. Well, last season he didn't get injured. He has had spells on the sidelines throughout his career. He's a little bit injury prone, but he's not horrendously injury prone. Recently, he's been able to keep fit, hasn't he? So yeah, he would hopefully be fit more often than not. Inverted forward, says Wessex Mercia. Gangshi says left wing. Dave says, to be fair, left wing. Okay, maybe in the future, though, we could see Rashford utilised more at striker. We have got great players like Alejandro Garnacho coming through who may make that left wing position his own. But certainly, I think Rashford right now, if we're talking about building a strongest starting 11 we could do for next season, we should be keeping him out on the left side and getting a goal scorer. Ramos, that's his name. Joe says Clapton. Are we talking about Gonçalo Ramos, the Portuguese fellow? Yeah, I mean, he would be a great signing. I think he would be an excellent player, but huge money involved there. There's a few. There's Gonçalo Ramos, there's Osimhen, there's Højlund, and of course, there's Harry Kane. It's like, take your pick, really. We just need to get a proper goal scorer. But there's only one player that we've just mentioned out of that short list of 4 players that is proven to do the business to a really high level within the Premier League. The other players have got the potential and they're younger. But let's face it, Harry Kane does it in the Premier League for those shithouses spuds. If he was playing for United, I'm sure he'd score just as many goals, if not more. Left wing says Neil. Left wing says Boomy. Left wing says Jeff. Left wing says Stephen. So we're all in agreement. Rashford's best position's left wing. So it doesn't really make sense to go forward into the next season with him playing the striker. I think it would be a shame. It would weaken us. You think Rashford is perfect for left wing also, says Fat Chinese Gaming. Absolutely. Yep, Must Play says Højlund seems positive to Juve, so wake the fuck up, United. Yeah, definitely. This is the key, really, Must Play. While all this is going on with the ownership debacle and the situation currently taking place, it's not that realistic that United are going to sign any players like that. I don't think. I think we're just waiting for the sale, and once that's happened, then we'll start to show ambition. I mean, I am feeling positive in the sense that I think it will happen soon. And when it does happen, bang, there you go. United will immediately go out there and sign big players. I can feel it. And hopefully we'll actually have the ability to get rid of some of the players we've got at the club as well, because we could compile a list of 6-7 players that we should be getting rid of. McTominay, Maguire, Fred even, certainly Martial, Henderson. The list goes on really. There's lots of players that we could generate cash with from getting rid of by selling them. So that's what we should do, and hopefully be able to spend a couple £100 million this window. Arsenal were able to do it. Other teams were able to do it. So I'm sure Manchester United should be able to do it as well. Templar Priest says, I wouldn't mind Ramos and Højlund. Yep, United Till I Die says people are putting too much pressure on Garnacho. He's great, but overhyping him won't help. He needs to be brought on slowly but surely, doesn't he? That's a fair comment. He's only a young kid, really. He has shown just pure ability, though. He's definitely got raw talent. He needs to keep his head, switched on, feet on the ground, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I was so impressed with him last season. I would have loved to have seen a few more appearances. Ten Hag should have maybe given him 1 or 2 more games. But, you know, he did have that injury and they're bringing him on slowly. You don't want to give these players too much too soon. Before you know it, they've got a lot of weight on their shoulders and pressure. What I like about Alejandro Garnacho is he's the sort of guy, whenever he's on the pitch, he just plays with freedom. He goes out there, he's just running at players. He's trying to make stuff happen. He's shooting freely and he plays without fear. What you do not want to do is put too much emphasis on him to, you know, make things happen. He does need to be brought along slowly and just, you know, nurtured. Definitely Manchester United need to pull their finger out. Yeah, it won't happen till the Glazers are gone. If the Glazers F off, our January transfer window will be excellent. Yeah, that's right, Neil Duffin. Hopefully so. I just really hope that we have the summer transfer window that gives us a decent platform for Ten Hag to kick on with this season. Because we just finished third and we did win a League Cup and it was a good first season for Ten Hag. But the lad needs help. All the other teams are strengthening. And if we aren't careful, they're going to get further ahead of us. You know, Arsenal are signing Rice and Havertz and City are just replaced. They just got Kovacic to essentially replace, you know, Gundo. And they're probably do a lot of other business as well. And these teams at the top are all going to do business. And we need to do big business as well. Keep smashing the likes, everybody. Thank you, Vutinator. Says we've hit 90 likes. Thank you very much, everyone, for hitting the likes button. Let's talk about this. So, I mean, it's very disappointing, really, in regards to the business we've done. We're talking about Mason Mount. There's talks and possibilities. We could potentially go and sign, you know, a different midfielder if that breaks down, i.e. Caicedo. But here's reports to say that Chelsea are pushing for Moises Caicedo this week. Belief remains that 70 million plus 10 million stands a realistic chance of getting a deal done despite the 100 million plus price tag suggestions. Brighton want as much as they can get, but they also accept Caicedo will leave this summer. And that is, you know, that is very, very disappointing, really, if Chelsea are going in for Caicedo. You know, that's not what we want. We want to see Manchester United go in for this guy instead of Mount. You know, so it's only a little bit more extra money if you're talking about you're talking about 65 million. It's only a little bit more. So Man United's position on that at the moment is this. This is a report from Laurie Whitwell, anyway, that United's chances of signing Moises Caicedo are highly doubtful, given Brighton's £100 million asking price. However, United have contacted Caicedo's representatives and suggested they would be prepared to go higher than Mason Mount because the Ecuadorian is 3 years younger. So, you know, it makes a lot of sense for us to go and go, I just think he's a better player than Mason Mount. Never mind the age, the price tag. It shouldn't really be about the price tag. Yes, this guy is an extortionate amount of money. They all are. If you want a really great player with bags of potential and who can do it now, you've got to pay the money for them. Brighton aren't going to want to part ways with a great player. Brighton have actually put themselves in the position now, like most football clubs, really, at the top of the Premier League. They don't need to sell. They can keep hold of their contracted players. They got him for a bargain price. They will only sell him for, you know, a satisfactory amount of money. He's worth more to them to keep in some ways. You know, Brighton finished sixth, didn't they? They're a good team. And, you know, they're competing near the top of the Premier League. It's not like Brighton are ever going to challenge for the title or anything. But certainly, they are a good team. And they don't have to sell anybody. Just like West Ham don't have to sell Declan Rice for anything less than they want. They can hold out and wait for the right figure to come in. That's what they've done with Arsenal, and that's what Brighton can do with Moises Caicedo. So I think that it takes a big offer from Manchester United to get Caicedo, and I don't believe that that will be coming in until the Glazers have gone. So it's, again, the pathway's clear for other teams to go and sign him. We've just seen that Chelsea are interested in bidding for him, 70 million plus 10. That may well be the case, which could persuade Brighton to maybe sell the guy. You know, they want 100 million. It doesn't mean they'll get that. If they get a good offer like 80 million for the guy, they would probably snap the hand off. So we'll see. But it looks like we've had some talks and discussions about the potential of bringing in Moises Caicedo. It's just not very realistic right now because of the poor position we're in with our owners. Jeff Madrak says Mount thumbs down and Caicedo thumbs up. Let's ask the chat, guys. Mount or Caicedo? If you had to spend, say, 60 million on Mount or 80 million on Caicedo, who would you bring in out of the two, given the choice? Simple one for me, really. Caicedo is a better player with a bigger ceiling, younger. Yeah, he might be more expensive. you get what you pay for, really. We're just going to scrimp out. I'm surprised we're not shopping around in the bargain bin at Poundland for our next signing, to be fair. We should be trying to sign a top-tier player that's actually going to improve our starting 11, not just the squad. I think Mount's a squad player, if anything. He's not really a player that improves our starting 11, whereas Caicedo is that man. I mean, it's actually really frustrating. It just goes to show you how shite United are at recruitment over the years. We could have got this guy for £5 million. That's what we could have paid for Moises Caicedo some years back. We were talking about this kid years ago on this channel. The fact that we were linked with this guy for £5 million and we just allowed him to go to Brighton. Why? It wasn't even a punt. It's nothing. That amount of money to Manchester United is nothing for a player with heaps of potential. We could have signed him a couple of seasons ago for £5 million. Now, he's still a great option, still a better option for us, yet we're talking about paying 16 times as much for the guy. What a shambles of a football club we've been under Glazer ownership. A shambles. Cedric says Caicedo. Gungshi says Caicedo. Must Play says Caicedo. Absolutely. K Slater thinks absolutely Chelsea gets him 100%. Yep, the pathway's clear for Chelsea to get him. That's the problem. We aren't in the position to play ball, unfortunately. Caicedo's not even debatable, says JK. Mount says Lukey. Steven says Caicedo. Thank you very much there, Primot. Appreciate you, boss. Tafiso says we will never get Caicedo. John Boy says Caicedo. United says, yeah, I don't think we'll get Caicedo either because we aren't in the market for actually going to buy these players right now. Fat Chinese Gamer says Caicedo's better. Hate to see him go, but he suits United more than Mount. Precisely. So FCG is a Brighton fan. Hey, good to see you, Samaconda. Thank you for getting in. How you doing? Duke of Rodtown as well. Good to see you. Stoic Savage is winning 2 trophies versus winning 1 trophy. Is that really the question you're asking? What's that all about now, Stoic Savage, lad? Devils of Red says the way this window is going, my prediction of the season is... you haven't finished that sentence, but I can assume what you're going to say is maybe a bit of disappointment. And I wouldn't blame you for saying that, to be fair, because, you know, it has been pretty disappointing so far. Let's talk about the Mason Mount business. So, yeah, Caicedo, he's on the short list, but that's all it is. It's a short list. It's not an actual legit player we're going for right now. It seems like Chelsea are going to do that, as I've mentioned. Here's reports that suggest that Chelsea are pushing for the Moises Caicedo bid this week. This is from Ben Jacobs today, and that they believe that £80 million in total stands a realistic chance of getting the deal done. So I do think that he'll probably end up going to Chelsea, sadly. Man United should be going in for him. It's not that realistic, unfortunately, but there is a possibility, you know, that we could go in for him. There is discussions taking place, but the price tag will put us off, especially when we don't have the new owners. So that leaves us going for this guy, Mason Mount. Sources remain confident on positive outcome for Mason Mount deal. This is from Fabrizio last night. Man United and Chelsea will talk again soon. All parties consider this week as crucial moment to make final decision between United and Chelsea. How pathetic are we? How pathetic are Manchester United? We're just improving other teams. We're giving them 60 mil. It probably will end up paying for this twat. 60 mil to the Chelsea Gummers, and they're just going to end up paying 20 mil for Caicedo, who's way better. That's how it will work out, because they'll have 60 mil cash back, and they'll just put a little bit more extra money towards the fee for Brighton. They'll end up getting Caicedo, a player we should be going for, and we'll end up getting shitty Mount. What an absolute state of the club that it is in. Unbelievable, isn't it? We should be having a lot more ambition than Mason Mount. So, you know, I'm very disappointed with that news, guys, if that's the case. It seems like we're going to be having direct talks with Chelsea this week to try and get a deal done. So I can't understand why we haven't just walked away and deaded off the Mason Mount deal. £55 million was the last offer, which they rejected. They wanted 65 million. They're being greedy. And we're seemingly going to bend over to it, because otherwise, surely this whole negotiation will be dead in the water right now. And as it should be, because he's not even all that. I don't understand. It's not even all that. Yes, United till I die says United will panic and buy Mount for what they ask. Absolutely think you're right, bud. I think that's what it's coming to right now, unfortunately. Chelsea finished 12th after all. That show that Mount isn't good enough for United. Well, yeah, he had a poor season. He didn't play all that much either, but it's not even about that, really. What it is about is we're overpaying, we're panicking, we're getting a player who's okay. He's homegrown, you know, he's young, he's 20. How old is he? 25? 24? I think he's 24. He's not horrendously old, so he's got bags of potential for the future. But he's pretty much never really blown me away with his performances, hardly at all. I think for England, most of the time, he's been pretty poor as well. Just never really been that impressed by him. He's just a hyped up, overpaid, overhyped English player, like a lot of them are. Never really been overly impressed with the guy. But the problem for me is he's only got 1 year left on his contract. I would rather see United have some bollocks and stick to our guns, go and sign somebody else. Maybe go and get Mount in a year's time on a free transfer. That makes sense. Not paying 65 mil for the guy now. Add a little bit more cash, show a little bit more ambition, go and get Kane or go and get Caicedo. Don't settle for Mason Mount for an extortionate price when you can go and get somebody else for a little bit more. It's so poor. It's so poor from the club, honestly. Very annoying. Thank you for all the great comments coming in here today, by the way. Really appreciate it. Wessex Mercia, what a great comment. Maddison for 40 million quid. That's a way better signing than Mason Mount. He's better than Mason Mount. He would have been a better signing at 40 million. He cost 50% less. We're talking about spending 60 mil for Mason Mount. James Maddison cost Spurs 40 mil. What the fuck? And he would have definitely come to Manchester United 100% for many reasons. Man United's a bigger, better club than Spurs. There's actually some tweets that came out from 10 years ago. In 2013, James Maddison tweeted out a couple of tweets to suggest that he hates Spurs. And he was slagging off Gareth Bale, calling him a monkey and all this stuff. You know, and he was saying, oh, he really hates Spurs and hopes they lose and they're shite and he can't stand Gareth Bale and all this stuff. I mean, that was 10 years ago Maddison was talking like that. It's hilarious. That's legit. That's what he said 10 years ago. So he would have definitely come to Manchester United if there was an offer on the table. Unfortunately, we are stupid. We'd rather waste money on something like Mason Mount rather than go and spend on a player who's just been relegated from Leicester. You know, he would be playing in the Championship, so he's definitely too good for that. He'd definitely be available at the right price, aka 40 mil, which Spurs have paid for him. We could have gone and got him. I don't understand why we didn't. It's poor from the football club. We should have gone and got him. Boomy says he's a Man United fan too. He would have definitely come to the club. He would have 100% come to the club rather than go to those shithouses Spurs who he hates. He hates Tottenham. He said it himself 10 years ago. Yet they actually put a bid in for him. I'm starting to believe, honestly, guys, I'm starting to believe the Glazers don't want to spend a damn penny until they're gone. Why would they, I suppose? When you actually think about it objectively, why would they spend when new owners are going to be coming in soon? So I think their whole negotiation with Mount is paper talk. It's PR guff. It's just to make it seem like we're trying. So there's not uber backlash from the fan base while they're still here. I actually don't think they'll sign anybody while they're still here. I think we have to wait for the new owner to come in and then we'll sign players. Otherwise, why wouldn't we go for Maddison instead of Mount when he's, potentially a heck of a lot less money and a better player and he's available and he would have come? We would have snapped Leicester's hand off for 40 million quid with that transfer negotiations that they've done with Spurs. We could have gone in and just hijacked the deal. But no, that goes to show you that the Glazers have no real desire to spend a penny while they're still currently here. Hashtag Glazers out. They need to go now so we can start planning for the new season. Mate, Simon Cowie, how are you doing? Thank you for your highlighted comment here, bud. Let's go. We got a highlighted member comment from Simon Cowie. He says, thank you for being a member 33 months of the Sausage Soldiers. You're a legend, by the way. Hashtag 33 for the guy. Appreciate you. Good to see you, bud. He says, Pig, Ten Hag has 3 lists, and until the process ends, we won't know our actual budget, and all the players, the media, is paper talk. Spot on. I'm with you, bud. I completely agree with you. I think that's what it is. How could he possibly know who we're able to sign right now when all this takeover malarkey is taking place and the Glazers are still here? How could he possibly really go and exercise an action plan of transfers this summer without actually getting the nod from the people above? How could he possibly do that? So I completely agree with you. I think this whole Mason Mount stuff, I mean, we have had negotiations. We have talked to them, but we're just talking to them for the sake of talking to them right now. That's my humble opinion on the matter. It's a disgrace. I think you're absolutely spot on, though, Simon, mate. Thank you very much for being a member of that time, you legend. Guys, we just smashed 100 likes on the stream. Keep hitting that thumbs up button. Twat the likes if you haven't done so. Subscribe if you're new and get your thoughts and opinions in the live chat. I am going to have a big Q&A in a minute. But before I do, I'm just going to talk about a few other little pieces of information and news that have come out in regards to Manchester United today. Just the big headlines. You know, we are reportedly ready to present an offer to Inter Milan for Andre Onana. We're waiting to see about that. We're supposedly having direct talks with Chelsea this week to also negotiate with Mason Mount. So we'll see what happens with that. But I believe all of this is pure paper talk guff. That's what I think at the moment in time. There's also, I don't know if you've seen this from Anthony, But, it's obviously negative news. Don't really want to talk about it too much, but United forward Anthony issues statement in response to assault claims. So he has been alleged to have assaulted a woman, a former girlfriend, and he has basically put an Instagram post out to say, friends, fans, and followers for you after submitting my statement at the police station when the investigation involving my name is being conducted. I wanted to speak publicly for the first time since I was falsely accused of assault. I stayed silent until the moment so that nothing could interfere with the investigation process, but during all those days, my family and I suffered in silence. Despite being born and raised in a very needy community, I've never been through a situation similar to this, in which a false assault charge resulted in a preliminary and unfair public judgment on the part of some. After the closure of the investigation, my innocence will be proven, certain that justice will prevail, and the damage initially caused by to my image will be in the past. Thank you for all the countless messages of support received at this very difficult time. Let's get some love in the chat there for Anthony, because I believe the guy, to be fair. Anybody can make an allegation, and let's get some love in the chat there for Anthony. And it doesn't strike me as the type. You never know, do you? But my humble opinion is there's so many people out there just trying to get money from these players all the time. There's so many players who have been alleged to have done these things, and most of them are wrong. Most of them are just made up. So yeah, let's get some love in there for Anthony Dos Santos, my friends. Until there's any sort of other allegations or proof or anything. And what I like about Anthony is he's come and addressed it publicly, which, in my opinion, is the right thing to do. So anyway, just wanted to mention that in case you hadn't heard of it. It's news. Let's get into the live chat for a little bit, guys. I'm going to get into the Q&A now. Now's the time to have your say. We'll get into the live chat and hear your thoughts and opinions about anything we've discussed in this show today. Anything else, really. If you want to have your say, please do get involved. Great turnout today. Thank you all for joining this afternoon show. There's the latest transfer news. When I say transfer news, it's not really transfer news, is it? Because it's just a link to Onana, link to Caicedo. It's so piss poor, mate. Glazers out, and until they're gone, it won't get any better. Let's get into the chat and see what you legends are saying. Absolutely, mate. Glazers out indeed. Thank you for getting your comment in there. Rajon, couldn't agree more. Anil says, choose one, Pig. Winning the double against City or losing against City. 2 matches, but winning the Premier League title. What? What are you on about there, Anil, mate? Choose one, Pig. Winning a double against... Oh, okay, right. You mean winning both fixtures against City, but losing the Premier League title, or losing against City 2 matches, but obviously lose to City and win the Premier League title. Are you mental? Are you mental, Anil? Obviously lose to City and win the league. You know what I mean? Who cares about doing a double over City in the Manc Derby, to be honest? Fair enough, it would be nice, but if that doesn't win you the title, who cares? I'd rather lose to them and win the league. Obviously, that's the case. Orlando Arellano, thank you for your comments. Says Onana and Mount or Caicedo, Pig. Caicedo. I honestly think De Gea would do okay for us this season. Again, I would rather go and get Caicedo, sort the midfield out. That'd be awesome then. And then also go and get a goal scorer like Harry Kane. That'd be sorted. Stoic Savage says, that's what I was talking about, Pig. What a silly question. I mean, all respect to you, Anil, for getting in here with your comment. I appreciate you joining the live chat. But yeah, you what? United says Prem Day. Simon Cowie says Sheikh Jassim or Sir Jim Ratcliffe dropped 6 billion to the Glazers and end this process time. They stopped the 6 billion, including investment. Well, reports are coming out that Sir Jim's offer or his bid could essentially be dead in the water. We'll see. There's been so much paper talk and guff, about this. Hellier was speaking on Bloomberg, I believe, earlier today, and said that he thinks from, he's heard from good sources anyway, that the Sir Jim deal is basically dead, which leaves the path clear for Sheikh Jassim. But we'll have to see. It's almost just annoying to discuss these days, isn't it? We just want it done and dusted. Until we hear an announcement, I'm not going to pretend like, I really know what's going on, because behind the scenes, there's so much hearsay. And who really knows? Mount wants to be a model, says Super Fat Frank. Man United will finish 6th next season. Ben Bray, great question. Where do you see United finishing next season, guys? I mean, I'm gonna say more or less the same. I think Ten Hag's got the ability to get us 3rd place again, but I want to see us improve and better ourselves. And unfortunately, that's just stagnation, isn't it? Really. Must play says Mount doesn't have a good mentality. Yeah, he's a bit of a melter. What's up there, Jacob? Welcome in. Benjamin Bessemer, great to see you, bud. He says, Q&A, why do you think we're in for Caicedo when he's going to likely be a backup to Casemiro? I could see him playing alongside Casemiro, to be fair to you, Benjamin Bessemer, lad. Plus, he's a lot younger. But in reality, he probably is going to go to Chelsea. Chelsea are interested in him, Ben. So, they're actually going to make an offer, whereas we're not. What would be my dream deal for United, Anno? Honestly, it would probably be Harry Kane this summer. I think he solves a heck of a lot of our problems. Good afternoon, Ian Knox. What's going on? Varna, hello, says Man United need to gather all of the legends together. Pickford, Maguire, McFred, Lukaku. United will win the World Cup. Get out, Varna. Thank you for your comment. You what? Duke of Rodtown says, ideally, I would hope United were to finish first or second. My prediction is still fifth. Top three, says Simon. First, says Daryl Gilligan. He's feeling optimistic. I'm not sharing your optimism there, guys, but I love it, though. FCG says United will only get better once Glazers sell the club and leave. But what if they're only pretending that they're selling or asking for an unreasonable price? Well, yeah, there you go. I mean, I think that they can't really stay too much longer. I mean, I do think that if they stayed beyond this summer, they would be, their lives would be in danger in some ways. Honestly, there's some pretty extreme people in the football fan base in general. I think their lives would be in danger if they were to stay beyond this summer. Simon says, Pig, I think the media know nothing due to the NDAs involved in the process. Yet a lot of it's just speculation and, journalists speculating things. But certainly in regards to the takeover, it can't be spoken about, as you say. So it's all hearsay. You're absolutely right, Simon. Tafiso says, Man United fans, we hear new words/phrases daily. Dead in the water is the latest. Templar Priest says Onana, Mount, Kane, Højlund, +1 mid. Who knows? I mean, that really would be spectacular. First, because of Sheikh Jassim says, Boomy, like your style. Daryl Gilligan, what's going on, mate? 0793 says, with that squad, maybe fifth or sixth, as Liverpool will be better this year and other teams have strengthened squads. Yeah, you're right. Chelsea will, you would think, be fundamentally a lot better this year. So will Liverpool. They had sleeper seasons. Spurs even. Not really, but Spurs. Then you've got the big boys like, of course, Manchester City will be up there. You would think Arsenal, with their spending in the season they had last season, will be up there. So, yes, it's true. Newcastle United could go on and do some good things this season. It's really not going to be easy. Third, says Simon. Multi Clapton says, could have got Pookie on a free, Joe, for a season or two. He's just gone and signed for Minnesota United, hasn't he? Look at this. You betcha. Minnesota United. I've only gone and signed Teemu Pukki. I hope that that's a joke, though, Multi Clapton. I do hope that's a joke, bud. Because as much as I think Teemu Pukki was a good player, and he certainly had a great season for Norwich that time he was in the Prem, he's shite. Well, he's not shite. He's actually good, but he's not good enough for Manchester United. We need higher ambition than that. The Vootinator says 2 months left in the window. Watch this space. Yep, true. Could still be plenty of business to be done towards the end of the transfer window once the Glazers have gone. Boomy says, breaking news, Edson Alvarez, Borussia Dortmund deal collapsed. I think we should sign Alvarez to be a backup for Casemiro. Interesting point there, Boomy, as well, lad. Interesting, sir. Yeah, he's been a player that's been linked to us previously. Bostonian Mackham says, any thoughts on Diallo? He said if he goes on loan again, he would choose Sunderland again. Nice. Well, he had a good season there. I'd like to think that, no disrespect to you guys, but I'd like to think that if he was going to go out on loan somewhere, it'd be to somewhere better. Higher competition, etc. But no, fair enough, Bostonian Mackham, lad. Benjamin Bessier says, even Aston Villa can make a push for fix. They're trying to sign Pau Torres at the moment. Another previous United link. Varna says, don't laugh at Spurs, bro. You guys might actually fight for Conference League position next season. Nah, we're not that bad. We're not that bad. We've got Ten Hag here. He took a pretty average squad to third. I feel like he would be capable of doing the same again. I'm not interested in the Ashes, really, but I must say cricket's not really in my bag, baby. Alvarez isn't on Ten Hag's radar, says must play. United says, I'm defo laughing at Spurs once Kane goes their foot. Neil James says, pay up. JK says, this season will be one of the most toxic competitive seasons, maybe even top 8, to be honest. So many other teams are much better now. Well said. It's true, JK. It's going to be tough for all of the teams at the top there to fight it out for those spaces at the top, in the top 4 even, never mind challenging for the title. Simon says, Pig, the Glazers stay in Florida due to the fact that they can carry, so they would use if their lives were at risk if they stay. You think the Glazers are carrying pieces around, mate? and ready to get United fans. Is that what you're saying? Fair play to you, Simon Cowie, lad. That's an interesting comment, that one, lad. Well, look, I'm just saying, if if they were to stay, they would be serious enemies to the United fan base, and it would be a scene from, I don't know, Looking for Eric, maybe, where you get a coach load of Eric Cantona mask wearing individuals turn up at their gaff. They can't shoot them all, bro. You know what I mean? Oh, Bristolian says we are doing the Matt Busby approach at Sunderland, getting all the young talent. Yeah, fair play. It's the way to do it, really. Build for the future. Yep, Jeff Madrick says dead on pig. All this published transfer talk, mere bullshit to get clicks and sell newspapers. All that matters are contracts signed. Seen any? Spot on, Jeff. We can't even sell players, so I can't imagine we'll actually sign anybody until they have got new owners. You do hope a club comes in for Maguire? Very, very unlikely, but I hope so too. Jay says, I'm worried, Duke, to be honest, because Bayern could steal Eric Ten Hag from us if it's true. United Andre says, can any Floridians go to their gaff and throw an eggs at them? What happens if Pep leaves City? They will get relegated after a few seasons. I mean, no, that depends. They'll get another top manager, won't they, and spend the money. Let's hope that they get relegated for their breaches of financial fair play disgracefulness. Can't we donate some money so we can sign players? No, we don't need to. Get new owners in, let them spend the money, and then we'll be more likely to spend and put money into the football club to do the business. Guys, I'm going to wrap this video up, right? I'm going to read one or two more comments out actually before I do, but I'm pretty much going to wrap this video up now. Thank you so much to everybody that's watched this stream. You are a bunch of legends. We've got 122 likes. Keep hitting the like button on it. Give us a retweet on social media if you want as well. Get the word out there. It's at the top of the chat. Make sure you legends subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel. We're on here, going to be on here daily, giving you the latest updates. And if there's any big breaking news tonight, we'll jump on later as well. So keep a lookout for that. Also trying to arrange a show with the guys to come on and do a group fan panel debate very soon as well. So keep a lookout for some shows tonight. Absolutely, Benjamin Besson, 100%. How you doing there, Howard Garrix? Thank you very much for the condolences, bud. Appreciate you, dude. Funeral's coming in a few days now. I'm really not looking forward to it at all. Thank you, everyone, for getting in here. Chelsea for Life says, Nehemiah, get out. Multi-Captain says, cheers, Joe. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Templar Priest. Orlando Arellano, Superstar. Thank you, Bud. Says, thanks for the quick update, Pig. Frustrating summer. Yeah, it's just so frustrating right now. There's not much to report, sadly. JK United says, I hope not, Duke, but it will happen if the Glazers stay and don't back Ten Hag. Ten Hag must be growing in frustration by the day. Not today, Daryl Gilligan. We'll see, lad. Thank you, everyone, for getting in here. Anil Nutt as well. Once again, thank you for your PayPal last night, mate. That's very generous of you. Mikhail Kramer, get in there. Thank you very much, Bud, for getting in and watching the daytime update. Thank you, Benjamin, Ian, United Till I Die. Thank you, Ian Knox, bro. Thank you, United Till I Die. Cheers there, Duke of Rodtown, sorry. Anil, Jay, Superfat Frank, Johnny, Luan, France. Have a great rest of the day also. Thank you so much. Simon Almeida, the Hoop Man. Get in there, my son. Hey, good to see you, mate. Get better late than never, lad. Thank you very much. You have a great day too. Simon Cowie, thanks for joining us. Thank you for your condolences as well, Simon Bird. Lucky Singh, Boomy Must Play, and everybody else. That's it from me. Like, subscribe, comment. John Boy Pricey, Simon, K Slater 23, all the Dons, all the moderators. Thanks for moderating the stream. All the members of the channel, thanks for supporting the show. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com, for your latest updates. Thank you, Don Gunshaleone, as well. Thank you for joining us and getting in here raw. Kate Slater says there's been an announcement from Ornstein. Let's have a look at this one. And it's exclusive. Manchester United have reached an agreement. What's this? Holy fuck, Kate Slater. I'm glad I didn't finish. Wait a second. Hold on. Sorry, guys, I got disconnected there. I apologize. I got disconnected. I don't really know what happened there, right? Do you know what's hilarious as well? Is I was just basically just talking to myself for like 2 minutes. I was just talking to myself for 2 minutes there, guys, and I thought I was still on, but somehow I got disconnected. Thank you, K. Slater, for that news, by the way, mate. Absolutely. He's got in here with the breaking news. And this is it, guys. So thank you, everyone, for being here and getting involved with the stream. Do hit the like button, share it around, because we've got new breaking news. Exclusive, Manchester United have reached an agreement with Chelsea to sign Mason Mount. Deal for the 24-year-old England midfielder worth up to £60 million. What a rip-off. 55 million plus 5 million in add-ons. Permission given to do the medical and finalise personal terms. What an absolute panic buy joke of a situation right there, guys. It's a disgrace. I think it's a poor signing, to be fair. I don't understand why we'd be spending all that money on him, but we are. Joke, man. Samakonda, thank you for your comment, bud. I'm with you, pal. He says, got an absolute stonk on for Mounty. Oh, no, I'm not with you, actually. He loves Mount. Some people are happy about this. Let us know your thoughts, guys. Are you happy about Mason Mount signing for Manchester United? It looks like it's on the cards now. Reports and confirmation from David Ornstein that there has been an agreement between the two clubs. Chelsea and United agreeing a 55 plus 5 add-ons deal, £1 million for him. I agree with you. What a waste of money. I don't rate Mount. Too much money. 60 million quid is a fortune to spend on Mason Mount. That's got the potential to be a big flop, that one. If Erik Ten Hag wants him, I'll give him a chance. Says Gungshi. Fair play. Yeah, fair play. We got to back Ten Hag, don't we? We've got to stick with the guy. And if he wants to spend a big portion of his transfer kitty on Mason Mount, there must be a reason for it. He must feel like he's going to, be capable of getting the best out of him at United and play the right sort of a role for us. Sosa says Mount is a red. Yeah, £100 million for Rice is a flop. Definitely, says Anil. I don't know about that. Erik Ten Hag wanted Mount. Good enough for me, says the Vutinator. Fair play. Luan says at least it's a finalised deal. True. I mean, things have been so poor this summer. If we ended up signing Mount as our first signing, just to be a little bit positive, to try and look on the positive side of things, it's a player. It's a player in the team that's new and will help us out in some ways. It's a new player. So, I'd be positive to give him a chance, but also I can't really pretend that my initial reaction is just meh. I'm really not overly bothered with this signing, guys, at all. 60 million quid's too much money to pay. When Maddison's going to Tottenham for 40 million, no, we paid 50% more for a player who I think is 25% worse than James Maddison. I think it's pretty outrageous that we paid that amount of money. Must Play says, I'm crying. This is bad. Yep, in the famous words of CJ, here we go again, says I'm Hustle Gaming. Simon Carey says there are better players, but we now must support him and let's see Mount improve, and I will back him 100%. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, we have to, don't we? If he's going to be putting on that red shirt of United and playing for us, we've got to give him a fair crack and hope that he can do some good things for United while he's here. And like Gungshi said, we've got to back Ten Hag and Ten Hag's decision and trust in what Eric's doing. And if Eric wants Mason Mount, fair enough. But I am very much underwhelmed by this signing. When we sign players, I would like to be going, yes, come on, get in there. Don't feel like that with Mason Mount. I feel like we've overpaid for a pretty under par player. So I'm disappointed in that sense. But I believe in what Ten Hag's doing, and I hope that he does well for us. And I hope I'm wrong about Mason Mount. But I'd like to be excited, and I'm not. United Till I Die says, yeah, same, not excited. Ten Hag better work wonders with this lad, not going to lie. Yep, just the usual from United, says Johnny M. He's overpriced, but I'll back him, says United Tactical Talk. Why are we so poor at doing these transfer dealings, though? We are always overpaying for these players. It's kind of a shambles. He's the midfield Harry Maguire. Mount deal has been done, absolutely, mate. Matthew Smith. Mount is a traitor to Chelsea fans, says Must Play. Good. That's good. But yes, if you just want to see the news, if you're just joining us, there is breaking news in regards to Mason Mount, guys, and this is it. Exclusive from David Ornstein just a few minutes ago that Manchester United have reached an agreement with Chelsea to sign Mason Mount. The deal for the 24-year-old England midfielder is worth up to £60 million, 55 million plus 5 million in add-ons, permission given to do the medical and finalise personal terms. It's now to the paperwork stage. So really big bit of breaking news there, guys. That is a big bit of breaking news. It's a big bit of breaking news right there, guys. Me personally, I'm not blown away by it. Really not too blown away by it, but there you go. De Gea is leaving United, says, I know, it's possible, bud. It's possible. I know, Dutch Christ says, for fuck's sake, Mount. There it is, breaking news, guys. Mason Mount, new player. Pants pulled down again. Absolutely, Lewis Eraser. Way too much money paid for this guy. Don't understand it. Seems strange to me, but it's happened. It's happened. The agreement has been reached between Chelsea and Man United. So we just obviously expecting over the next few days there will be negotiations for personal terms, agreements there. And then, of course, there will be finalizations and a medical and things like that. And he probably will be a United player very soon. Just very mediocre signing it, if you ask me. JRE, thank you very much for your highlighted member comment, boss. He says, do we need him for homegrown quota if we offload Slab? Well, if we were to offload Slabby Maguire and get rid of a couple of the melters at the football club who are homegrown, then I wouldn't feel so bad about it. But we don't need to sign Mason Mount for 60 million for the homegrown quota. We could just get, somebody else who's a decent English player. We were talking about James Maddison a moment ago. James Maddison, 50% less money, probably a better player. Could have gone and got him, but obviously Ten Hag disagrees with me. And I trust in Ten Hag, so fair play to him. Could be worse, the Hoop Man says. Could be worse, Arsenal paying 105 million for Rice. Well, yeah, they're paying an extortionate price, but they're getting their man. They're getting a really great player who could be a fantastic player for them for the best part of a decade. So I don't know. It depends how you deem that money well. It could be money well spent in the end. Yep, Caicedo says, why do we negotiate? They ask, we pay. They're not even that hot. Bizarre, isn't it? Strange, isn't it, Caicedo? So much for having a little bit of a stern bargaining position, It's impossible. United just end up paying the money that they want all the time. Luan says he wanted to come to United and Eric Ten Hag wants him. He'll get the best out of him. I'm on board. Fair play to you, Luan. I love that positivity. That is good stuff. Musgrave says Rice is better. Would I give Mount the number 7 shirt? Hell no. I wouldn't. Absolutely not, Sosa. You'd rather take Rice for 105 million? Me too, actually. Tom Charlton says, hi, Pig. Hope you're well. What do you think of the Mount deal? It's overpaid. We've overpaid for him. He's a decent player. He's homegrown. If Ten Hag wants him, that's cool. But it's just an underwhelming signing, if you ask me, for too much money. Mason's the only player for this window. Thinks Prakash Kumar. Hope you're wrong, but maybe, you never know. Rice not worth 105 million. English tax. Yeah, just like Mason Mount's not worth 60 mil. Rice is definitely better than Mount, so is Caicedo. Why do we get the worst out of all? Yeah, so what we're doing is we're helping Chelsea get better by giving them 60 million quid for Mason Mount. They will use that money to go and get Moises Caicedo for 80 million quid. And, there'll be a better team for it. And we'll get a decent player. But that's it, if you ask me. You've got to ask yourselves this. If Chelsea really, really valued Mason Mount and thought that he was a baller of a player, they'd keep him. They would keep. Why wouldn't they keep him? He's a Chelsea product, so why wouldn't they keep him? Okay, interesting comment though from Jabir Adin. He's being positive. Mount, welcome to Man United, our new David Beckham. Simon says, I would rather leave the number 7 vacant. Dan, give it to Mason Mount, says Simon Cowie. Definitely agree with you. He doesn't deserve the 7. Thank you, Paul Holland. Much appreciated to you, bro. Momo Mino as well. Okay, thank you for subscribing there. It's football. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're going to be on here daily, giving you the latest updates. We'll have more on this later on tonight, guys. I'll be jumping on for another show, seeing as there's transfer news. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash the like button and all that. Hello, Vincent Bullock. How you doing, boss? Hope you're doing well. But I am going to wrap this video up actually now, folks. So thank you, everyone, for getting in here and being a part of the show while we've been live. We had breaking news, Mason Mount and Man United. Looks like it's going to be done. Chelsea have reached the agreement, so I'll just show you on the screen in case you haven't seen it. Here it is, the latest breaking news exclusive. Manchester United have reached an agreement with Chelsea to sign Mason Mount. Deal for the 24-year-old England midfielder worth up to £60 million, 55 million up front plus 5 million in add-ons. Permission given to do the medical, finalised personal terms. Now to the paperwork stage. Crazy money, but there you go. Looks like we've got a sign-in. It's good news, guys. We're doing something. It's good news. We're doing something. As I was saying earlier in the stream, it seemed like it was just PR guff, and we were just bidding for players, hoping to not get accepted in a way while the Glazers are still here. So I'm just thankful and grateful that actually we are signing somebody, I suppose. But I still think it's a bit of a mediocre acquisition, but I hope I'm wrong there. Thank you, everyone, for watching the stream. Smash the like before you go. Hit the subscribe. We'll be back on later. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Miz, Anil, Gungshi, a legend, Simon Cowie, Jake, everyone, Prakash, Vincent, United Tactical Talk, Mikhail Kramer, all the mods, all the members, both the Simons. Thanks for tuning in, guys. That's it from me, Hoop Man. Everyone else, stay classy. Thanks for tuning in. Come back after this video is finished. Get your thoughts in about Mount. Come back after. We'll keep the debate going. I'll respond to everybody who comments on the stream afterwards. Let us know your thoughts and opinions on Mason Mount to Manchester United. Do you think it's good value deal? Do you think it makes sense? Do you trust in Ten Hag's acquisition of Mason Mount, etc.? Come back and let us know after this video is finished. See you then, guys. Follow us on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Have yourself a great afternoon. We'll cover the latest news and the updates tonight, probably around 9 or 10 p.m. So keep a lookout for that, guys. Thank you, every single one of you, for watching. Much love. I should be on at 10 o'clock, actually. I think I'll do a show 10 p.m. tonight. So see you then. Come back a bit later. We'll give you the latest lowdown on what's happened and the latest bits of news and stuff from reputable sources. Thank you, everyone. See you soon. Stay classy. And come on, United. We've signed a player, or we're signing a player. It's not done yet, but we're signing a player. It's a bang average player, but it's a player. We're signing Mason Maguire. Get in there. See you later on, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Much love to you all, and I'll catch you later.